So here I am, literally, between two projects. I've gotten the Big Healy to the point where I need to go to the control technique and become official. Not quite ready to start on the spray. And I have this project down here that I've been putting off because I've been working on the Big Healy. It's a woodworking project this time. Many years ago, my two boys and I built a wooden bunk bed for them so they could sleep comfortably at my place. And now my stepson, quite a while ago, my stepson requested one of those, but without the bottom bunk, with a desk in the bottom, and my stepdaughter has said, hey, I want one too. So I got a pile of wood. I bought a new planer because the wood's all rough cut. And I'm going to build some bunk beds. So I am a carpenter living in a stone world, which makes finding woodworking tools challenging at times. I've been to 5 different hardware stores looking for this. We're looking for any planer, as a matter of fact. This is interesting design. It has a planer, planer on top and a thickness planer kind of in the middle. Let me unbox it and I'll show you. Oh, this is fun. I used to did my first test and got all this lovely confetti before and after. Let me run it again so you can see. This brings back memories. So from rough to very nice looking. I didn't get down below the dents and stuff, but nice, smooth. The blades in there seem to be set up correctly. So now I'm gonna clean up a bit, and then I have this whole pile of wood to run through here. I've now got both faces of these boards planed down. The planer itself, I pushed it at max capacity, and it was interesting to see what it did. When the vacuum was running, it did an okay job of clearing the chips, but once the vacuum got full, it would bind up, which caused the wood to bind up, which means you had to stop the machine, lower the table, pull it out, put the table back up, clear the clog, start the vacuum up again, set the table back to the right height, run it through again. It was a painful process. The other types of planers I've used, there was a Delta one that I had in the theater shop. and when it cut this stuff, it would dump it on the backside of the board, so it would kind of pile up on the board, and the board would transport it out. This one relies entirely on the vacuum. If you had one of those big dust collectors, this wouldn't be an issue. This would suck it up. Actually, I think it's kind of built for that. It has this adapter with a big, like, 4-inch tube on it. It's probably for the dust collection, big machines, which I didn't have. I'm just running it off this little shop vac. Yeah, for smaller pieces of wood, there'd be more room on the plate to spill the sawdust, the shavings off to the side, and then it might not bind up. I know I haven't tested that, but the cut of the plane is very nice. The wood's much smoother. The first bunk beds I made with my boys, we sanded, and sanding rough cut lumber down to something usable is time consuming. Granted, I was using child labor, so that's okay. Anyway, I was doing this, so I didn't want to spend the time doing that, and you get a much better finish when you use a planer. So my next step is to clean up this masses of sawdust. I'm going to bag it up. If you're into furniture restoration, these chips are really great for when you are stripping furniture down. You strip the furniture down, and then it's all goopy with that nasty acidy stuff. Then you can just take a handful of this and scrub it off, and it acts as a scouring thing and also as an absorbent for the acid. It works really well for getting into tight places and stuff. I'm not planning on doing that. I haven't seen the furniture stripper, the aircraft stripper over here. So I'm going to bag it up and take it home to my fireplace. It'll be put to use there. I'd done a lovely SketchUp version of this, but I forgot it at home, so back to grid paper. The bed, the mattress itself is 90 wide and 200. I have a frame over here that my stepson helped me put together. It's from IKEA. It's just this is like the American version of box springs over here in Europe. It's just a flat little thing on springy bows of plywood. It seems to work pretty good. All the beds I've built have been pretty comfortable. So that's the frame that we have to put in the bunk. So what I'm going to do is cut these boards at 201. It gives us 0.5 centimeter on each side, and the footboard and the headboard at 91, giving us 0.5 centimeter as well. Then there's plenty of room. If it's on a square or whatever, it'll still fit in there. Also, for stuffing, changing sheets and stuffing the sheet down in there, you want a little bit extra room. So from the top, we're going to have a board here, and then we're going to have one of the corner posts here, and then the other one here. So the other board here. So they end up meeting all together at this corner, making it very easy to do the math on. There's no extra gap here or anything. What else do I need to tell you? Yeah, so we're going to cut a whole bunch of these down to 201, and the boards, luckily enough, are 300 centimeters. So minus 201 and 91, it leaves us with an extra 8 centimeters on the end. One other thing about running things through the planer, you get a dip at the beginning and often a dip at the end, but usually the beginning's harder than the end. So we're going to have to cut off the ends. It squares up the ends anyway. but we need to get rid of that dip. See if I can show you this. This is what I mean by the dip. See if I can get it to focus. Maybe we can get it with the light. Yeah, there you go. See that shadow there? It's just a dip where it scoops into the... Before it hits both of the rollers on the planer, they usually get this dip. It was bad on this side, so I cut it off. It's 4 centimeters. I still have an extra 4 centimeters. Should I need it for kerfs and things, squaring up the other end. So one down, a whole bunch more to go. All right, now that we have a clean edge on each one of them, I'm gonna set the table to I'm going to put a block of wood with a clamp set to 201, so I get exactly the same cut on each one. Yeah, now each one of these boards has 2 clean ends cut from here. Now these guys over here are gonna have, well, right now they have 1. I'm gonna set the fence to 91 and then cut off the end that has the other dimple in it. Next we're going to make some legs. These are 7 by 7, 7 centimeters by 7 centimeters. Luckily these are already planed down, so they're nice and smooth, which makes my job a lot easier. For some reason I was thinking they were rough as well. Anyway, it saves us a big step. The height of the bed in total is 225, and that's dictated from the height of the sloping ceiling in their bedroom. So I'm going to start by cutting these all to 225, and then I'm going to show you a little trick. Okay, with that flipped around, what we're going to do is turn the saw a few degrees. We have to do it this way. 15 degrees maybe. Let me give that a test actually. Sorry, I had to grab another planner. Figure out where this lines up. So replicate it. Okay, so with that at 15 degrees, we're going to make 4 cuts. Turn the stock. Turn it over. 3. It gives us this little pyramid on top. I'm going to go a little bit steeper because I don't like that. I'm going to go up to, let's double it and go to 30 degrees. It wants to lock in at 30 degrees, lock. I can still use this as the test piece. Yeah, I like that better. Nice even pyramid all the way around. That'll be the top. I'll use the opposite end from what I cut off. So I'm creating a new factory edge, cutting off the factory edge. I like it. It gives it a nice bit of decoration, and it's really easy to do. Okay, so now this is the factory edge. Down there, I still have the clamp set at 225, and now I'm going to make my 4 cuts. There we go. Now, 8 more to do. Now we're gonna make some 2x4s. Spent a lot of time making them flat and smooth and square, but it's a little too square. So now the edges are very, very sharp. So we're going to take a router and round them over. For this, I'm breaking out a new router. I had another one, but it walked away. It's funny how that happens sometimes. So got this one. Get it open. There we go. Team Green. I've seen a lot of this online. Of Team Green, Team Red, Team whatever. I'm not really that kind of guy. I'm like Team whatever, get the job done. There's some tools I buy because I know I'll use them a lot, and then I buy really good ones. There's other tools I buy that will get the job done, and I don't need to do it a lot, so I don't need to spend a lot of money on it. And then there's some tools I buy that are cheap that that's the only one I can find. So it's a crazy world. That's kind of what my thinking on things are. And I don't just buy tools to have them. I buy tools when I have a project that needs a specific tool. Okay, so this spins around and it's going to cut a profile. You can go deeper and cut that whole corner into it, but we just want the edge of it so it rounds off the corners. So this bit is going to go in the router, and the router is going to spin it around. Now we have our bit in the router over here, and our first board strapped to the table. It was sliding around, so I didn't want that to happen while we're routing. We're just going to do these 4 corners. We don't want to do this face butts up against one of the legs. Now I'll have to do the piece that's clamped, but let me show you what we got going on here. See? Nice and round. Now nobody will jab themselves while they're playing on their bed. Well, there's a day's work. We have the legs over here. We have the top frame here, and the headboard and footboards here, and a couple extra 2x4s for the bottom. All planed down, all rounded over on the edges. They still will get a sanding at the end, but it won't be anything nearly as much as I did with my boys when we made the bunk bed together. So very happy with the progress today. New tool day, always fun. Playing with wood's always fun. Next step is to screw them together, put the headboards and footboards together, and finish it up.